Hello there, everybody, and welcome to Testy Tuesday. Oh, we know what Testy Tuesday is. No, not Pesky Tuesday, Testy Tuesday. That's the day that I get to test you on your exquisite knowledge of the scriptures. Hey, let's see how good you are with this one. Our Old Testament reading is going to come from the prophet Malachi. Malachi. Oh, yeah, you know all about Malachi, don't you? Hey, well, let's find out just how much you know. Where in the Bible does Malachi appear? Okay, you have a couple of options here. Number one, he appears right smack dab in the middle of the Old Testament. Number two, he appears at the very end of the Old Testament. Number three, he appears right in the middle of all the prophetic writings. Or number four, he's not in the Old Testament at all. He's in the Apocrypha. So where does Malachi appear in the Bible? Is it in the middle of the Old Testament? Is it at the end of the Old Testament? Is it in the middle of the prophetic writings? Or is it not in the Old Testament at all, but in the Apocrypha? The answer is at the very end of the Old Testament. It's the last book of our Old Testament. Yep. It was probably written somewhere in the 5th century BC, right after the Second Temple had been rebuilt. But the people, they're still waiting. And waiting for what? Waiting for things to be like they were before the exile. And they're just wondering, why isn't anything seem to be happening? Well, Malachi has the answer. In his prophetic utterances, he tells the people, you're all messed up. Haven't we heard that tune before? Yeah, he said, you're no better off now than you were back then. And until you get your act together, things aren't going to get any better. And he goes after the priests big time, saying they've failed in their obligations to help the people. He talks about the people not being righteous either. In fact, he really gets on their case about divorcing their wives and marrying the wives of neighboring nations who worship their own set of gods and not Yahweh. So you have all this going on, but why do we have a passage from Malachi? By the way, that would have been a better question to ask. What does Malachi literally mean? Well, I'll give you the answer, and you can go ahead and show off your exquisite knowledge about this. Malachi means my messenger. Messenger, that's what it means, messenger. All right, Malachi, we have this reading in the Advent. Why? Because he appears to be pointing toward the coming of another messenger, one who is going to point the way to God's justice returning to this earth. Let me just read our reading for this Sunday. See, I'm sending my messenger to prepare the way before me, and the Lord whom you seek will suddenly come to his temple. See, he's missing up to this point. The messenger of the covenant in whom you delight, indeed he is coming, says the Lord of hosts. But who can endure the day of his coming? And who can stand when he appears? For he is like a refiner's fire, and like fuller's soap. He will sit as a refiner and purifier of silver, and he will purify the descendants of Levi and refine them like gold and silver, until they present offerings to the Lord in righteousness. Then the offering of Judah and Jerusalem will be pleasing to the Lord, as in the days of old and as in former years. You see, this promise of a messenger who the early Christians identified as John the Baptizer, but who the other people up until that time, and even in the New Testament, we see is that Elijah? People are questioning whether John was Elijah, because that's who is identified in the Old Testament scriptures as being this messenger. It's going to be Elijah. He's going to come back. Remember, Elijah never died. He went up in the whirlwind. Aha. Okay, so you have all that going on at once, but it's going to be a hopeful time, but at the same time, it's going to bring judgment. We're all going to go through the refining fire, and all the bad stuff's going to be burned away. And then once again, we will be purified and we will be made holy before God. So it's kind of a good news, bad news thing all rolled up in one. But again, we're reading it here in Advent because of the connection that is now made to John the Baptizer. And our New Testament reading is also connected to John the Baptizer as well. So we'll see all that sort of thing going on. Oh, and by the way, our psalm reading is from Luke, and that's connected to John the Baptizer. See how it all kind of fits together just wonderfully? So, okay, just remember, Malachi. Don't know a whole lot about him. The last of the prophets that we have written in our Old Testament appears at the very end. We don't really have any other prophetic writings after that, other than any kind of editorial work that might have been done to the existing prophetic writings. But he's it. He's it until we get to John the Baptizer, who is identified by we as Christians as being the messenger, heralding the way for Jesus. Okay, go out now. Enjoy your day. Blessings be with you.